Welcome, friends, family, those I know, those who I don't know. You know who it is. It's your boy, The Law. Man, here on the dopest podcast on Spreaker. This is the Antidote with The Law, man. And I'm just super excited about what's going on and super excited about this day. Super excited to actually drop this podcast. I know most of you guys are locked at home or stay at home, or some of y'all are essential and you at work. But hey, I want to drop this podcast to not only encourage you, but to frustrate you, motivate you, and push you to use this moment as a great opportunity. So after the track drop, I'll be back. See you then. Good, you guys, man. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Thank you guys for listening in to your boy, man. Super excited that I get the opportunity to not only speak, not only drop a podcast, but I'm super excited that I get an opportunity to come into your ears and, provoke thought, man. I do not take it lightly when I get on the mic. I do not take it lightly when I actually get an opportunity to even speak to people, because I know that sometimes you guys are looking for that right inspiration, or looking for that right message, or looking for that right word that not only will set you apart or push you to that next level, but it could potentially transform your life. You know what I'm saying? And so I do not come on, or I do not actually get on here just to sound good, or just to be doing something. I'm actually really believing that what I say, and when I say something, it actually creates an impact. And so that's why you don't see me with a long podcast. Normally I'm a 15 minutes and I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good, stick you real hard and then you keep moving it. And that's why I call this the Antidote, because, not to make light of what's going on right now, but we dealing with the coronavirus and whatever, and we need an antidote. We need an antidote to actually get past this. We need an antidote to get beyond this, so that life as we know it can go back. Well, not really. I don't want to go back, but we can get moving again and put it that way. So today I put on there that I was going to talk about behavior modifications versus transformation. And I want you to understand those two have two different meanings. And I'm not going to give you the dictionary, scholarly kind of definition of the two. I'm going to give you my version of what I look at and what I'm understanding about this, right? So let's think about behavior modification, right? So behavior modification, I believe in my heart, is temporary, right? And transformation is more permanent. The reason why I'm saying it is that behavior modification, sometimes things on the outside, things that goes on, things that kind of sparks you a little bit or kind of rubs you the wrong way, have you to change your behavior. And so you change your behavior so that you can do something different, or you change behavior patterns so that you can do something different. And sometimes it's motivated or it's pushed because of an outside, I call it injury, an outside injury. And that outside injury caused you to say, okay, well, I need to tweak this behavior. Now, if you overcome that thing, right, you sometimes only stop in that moment, right? So after that moment is done, you only stop. So let's think about working out, right? I've been really struggling, to be honest with you. I've been really struggling on really getting my mind back to the place where I'm working out, my mind back to the place where I'm getting my fitness level back to where I need to be. I used to then be like that, but what happened is that I had an injury, and it happened in my life. And then once I had that injury, it shifted my mind or shifted my behavior. And so I began to kind of relax or kind of chill and really enjoying not really pushing as hard as I would do for my fitness level, right? And so because of that, I'm saying, I've suffered through different things and different disappointments in my fitness level. So then now when I'm trying to, restart or jumpstart that fitness level again, it's almost like 10 times hard to do. Like I'll get going for a couple of days and I back off. I get going a couple of days and I back off. And which I shouldn't do that. I have to keep going. Now, granted, I know how to work out. I know what I need to do to work out. I know what I need to do to get to my peak fitness level where I need to be. But I'm not moving that way because what I did is I tried to give myself a quick shot of my behavior change and say, okay, let me just change this a little bit of my behavior, and then I go back to what it is, right? So let me just like the military, let me just pass the test, and then after I pass the test, I can go back to what I was doing, instead of maintaining it and looking at it as though not this is just for a military test. This is for my life. This is for me to be able to not only sustain my fitness level, sustain my high energy level, but sustain in a way where, I want to travel around the world. I want to travel around this nation speaking. So then there's a lot of stress on the body. So if the body is not prepared to go, then I think it's unfair that I go speak to companies and to events, and then when it's time to actually do like one-on-ones and be friendly, I call it shake hands and kissing babies, I don't have the energy. I'm very tired and I want to go and rest. And it's unfair for those that I get to speak to you and and beat up on you and excite you and fire you up for about 30, 40 to an hour of this time. I'm doing that, and you want to talk to me more. And then it's unfair for me to just say, okay, I'm going to disappear. Me personally, I don't feel like I should do that if I'm a speaker. So I can't get to that point. So I did a behavior modification. So then now it wasn't sustainable just to say, okay, I need to just get fit for this event. I need to get fit for this, instead of saying I need to have it as a lifetime. And I'll get into the transformation side, why I call it more permanent. But that's what I'm saying. You have a behavior modification is what sometimes shows up when you have different challenges happening in your life. And so when those challenges are happening, you just change your behavior just a little bit, but it's not sustainable. You don't have the stamina to continue to keep doing it because you just wanted to change that behavior just for that moment and not looking at it though it is a life thing. And so let's transition to transformation. Transformation is that I use myself, you know what I'm saying? I had a behavior pattern. I know I say behavior in transformation, but I get it. But I'm put it this way. I had a behavior pattern where I dealt with leadership in a rough way. Military, I dealt with leadership in a rough way. I was challenging leadership. I was doing crazy stuff. It was bad. I wasn't the well polished guy that you guys see, hear, and know right now. I was actually a nuisance to my leadership. I was a nuisance to those who was in charge, and I had this sense of this is who I am, this is what I'm about, and you ain't gonna talk to me this way, and I bucked against the system, and I bucked against my leaders, right? And so when I bucked against my leaders, I didn't realize that it was hurting me a little bit, but I didn't care because whatever, I'm young, and you gonna talk to me, whatever. So I had that kind of mentality, and so it wasn't until I became a Christian and gave my life to Christ. The transformation of my character was different. I started to actually say, you know what? I can't change my behavior. I need to change my whole character. And so beginning to read the Bible and beginning to fall in line with different mentors that I've seen that were Christians, they end up showing me how to have my character and how to exemplify my character. God was able to impress upon my heart and in my mind and give me insight on how I should conduct my character. So I begin to mirror what that character trait or what that character supposed to look like. So it totally transformed my life to where I wasn't recognizable. Now check this out. I'm the same person now after the transformation. It's very permanent. So I do not waver. I do not shake. I do not move, saying on things. Like I love people. Like I really love people. At first I loved the people, but I didn't love people like I love them now. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the heart of giving people chances, or I didn't have the heart of seeing the best out of everybody. No matter how much bad they may have done, I still will see the best out of someone. So I didn't have that, the speaking and kind of, speaking against somebody or talking bad about somebody. I didn't have that at first. I was liberal with my voice, but then once I started to understand that can't be a part of my character, how do I speak to somebody to bring life? How do I speak to somebody to encourage them? How do I speak to somebody to build them up? Then now it's like I don't talk about anybody, and if I do have something that I need to say to you, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to confront you, because if I leave and I said something about you and I leave and I don't talk to you, guess what's going to happen? My heart of hearts is going to convict me and say, no, you need to go and approach that situation. You need to go to approach that person. And so then I need to approach the person where I'm able to get that right. So my transformation has happened, and now it's permanent. It's part of my life. And so a lot of times, I've noticed where people are trying to do their best. They're trying to get out here and make a business grow, make a family grow, make themselves grow. And so all they've been doing was having a behavior modification. And they keep asking, why do I keep falling to this rut? Why I keep falling to this situation. It's just like if you have a relationship, right? Let's say you have a relationship and you're in a relationship and you keep saying, I keep falling for the same women. I keep falling for the same men. It's because you adjusted your behavior in a way where you attracted those men or you attracted those type of women. And so if you go ahead and make a transformation of the person you need to be, and then say, this is how I believe my relationship should be, and you have that kind of transformation in your relationship, guess what happened? You would attract those type of people, and those people will be attracted to you, and then you got to go. Now, a lot of times, I'm not going to talk too much about relationship, but a lot of times we are attracted to what we see externally, and not what's internally. So the person who could be built for you, the person who could be perfect for you, doesn't look like what you ideally want sometimes. And not saying you shouldn't go after someone you don't like waking up in the morning and seeing. I'm just saying that person's character that you are looking for, you don't see that straight off the bat, which I get it. You don't see that first. You see that afterwards. But you got to dig deeper and find out if they have behavior modification just for the moment, or is it a transformational moment, meaning that this person's character is solid, is firm, saying that person's character is going to be that way. So in this time of we having to stay at home and all that type of stuff, and we have to deal with different challenges of work and everything, I want to ask you this. Are you at home? Are you even at your job? Are you just allowing the behavior to just be modified, or are you looking for a transformation? And I want to sway you to try to build a transformation. Like, take these days to say, I'm going to transform my life. And transforming your life is going to start with building that character, so that when challenges show up and when the wind blows, when the storm comes, you are set firm. You are steadfirm. I don't even know if steadfirm is a word, but anyway, you are steadfast. That's what I'm trying to say. So you're steadfast. You're unmovable, unshaken. You know what I'm saying? You're solid. And so now that you're stuck in there, you're now locked in, so that you can go ahead on and move forward and do what it is that you need to do. And so I petition you. I encourage you. I push you. I frustrate you to say, hey, transform your life. Don't do behavior modifications, because they're only temporary. You're only going to do it for so long, and it's going to quit. And I'm not saying that you're going to quit tomorrow. It could be, you can be having a behavior modification for a couple of years. And then that behavior modification don't become permanent, because the moment something happens, you shift, you switch. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a minute, but I'm just saying you need to identify, is this a behavior mod or is this transformation? And transformation means that is my character solid or ready to go? All right, you guys, man. Thank you guys for watching me. I said watching me. Thank you guys for listening to me. See, I do so much stuff. I do so much stuff that I got stuff all over. I broadcast on Facebook. I broadcast on YouTube. I broadcast on TikTok. I do podcasts. I do a little radio show on Station Head. So I'm in the media space like crazy. So when I'm talking, I'm in rhythm. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, thank you for watching me. You know, it's just, hey, you know, it is what it is. But I want to thank you guys for listening to me, and thank you guys for tuning into my podcast, man. And make sure you share this out. Make sure you leave comments. Make sure you give me any feedback. I'm going to continue to drop podcasts and continue to keep giving you those different things, because I want to be an antidote at this time. I want to be an antidote at this moment, at this time, because this is what I feel that people will love to hear and they will need. And it's not that I have some kind of braggadocious type deal thing. I'm just saying I want to inspire at this moment and at this time. All right, you guys, man. Man, I love you guys, man. Be amazing. Be awesome. You know, all that good stuff, man. And make sure you follow me on all social media products, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere. Make sure you follow me, man. And I love you guys. And so I'm going to sign out like I always do. We may not be the solution, but we will be the antidote. Listen to the song as we ride out. Peace.